Hello and welcome to this channel. The name is Mpho Telile, and on this platform I basically document myself just leaving, and I share with you guys some of my experiences and encounters in life. So before we get started, please don't forget to subscribe and press the little bell next to the subscribe button so that you're notified whenever I post a new video. Don't forget to smash the like button on this platform here, because we're trying to build a community. So when I first left college in 2016, I thought to myself, let me leave and go find myself a job that's not going to require any sort of qualification. And so I did, and I landed myself a job at a call center company. I was doing good throughout the training, and when I got my first sale, it was so amazing. Everyone was congratulating me, and everyone really believed in me before we even started, right? A month in, I felt like this is not for me. I can't do this. I need to leave. Fast forward to 2017, I enrolled at the university that I obtained my qualification at now. Throughout that as well, I wanted to quit, and I didn't, evidently. On the last year of my qualification, I actually got a job, nothing related to my degree, but it was a great job. I lost it. I was let go. And that's totally on me. It's a pattern. If you don't know what you're talking about, it's called self-sabotage. If you think you can relate, please keep watching. What is self-sabotaging? Behaviors or thought patterns that hold you back and prevent you from doing what you want to do. You sabotage your chance to learn and grow from the experience, afraid of conflict or criticism. When I first heard of the term and when I read the definition, I was just like, I was just like, this is me, this is I, super triggered. And I have always had this thing, but I just never knew what it was called. I remember when I first realized it, in fact when I noticed it in 2020, I didn't have a term for it, but I just knew that something was happening and I was doing it to myself. I was the one who was causing the discomfort in my life, but I couldn't really pinpoint to what it was. I just knew that I often feel like fake, fraud, scam, and I feel like I may make an attempt, but we all know what the outcome is going to be, which is I'm gonna fail, you know. I want to talk about self-sabotaging, what causes it, and how I think we can help each other overcome it. I'm also in the process of trying to combat it every day, so I thought what better way to do that than to tag along other people who can relate. Let's start by what causes self-sabotaging, or at least the patterns that I've seen in my life, right? So the first thing is comfort. Humans are often comfortable people. Like, they want comfort, they want something that they know, they want it, like it needs to be something familiar. They normally can't deal with something that is new or something that they do not know. It's scary for them. So I am one of those people. So this goes into many things in life. Your level of happiness, we are normally like, okay, this is the level of happiness that I'm used to. Once it goes beyond that, I am not doing that because I don't know what the outcome is going to be. We often fear that maybe you're going to get disappointed, maybe the person is not going to love us anymore, and you're all the way in, and that just sabotages your chance of being happy at that particular point. And you could have been like at your happiest in your life, but you don't experience that because you're stopping yourself. You're like, this is where I'm going to keep it. And that has proven to be true even in my case. My relationships, in my can I call it career? I don't know, but we see the signs in my introduction of how I left school. I told everyone that it was because I wanted to cut the costs, because I felt like everything was so high for my mom. In actual fact, I remember myself going to my lecturer, in fact my lecturers, and telling them that I don't think I'm gonna make it. I don't think I'm gonna make it to the first exam. I don't think I'm gonna pass. I was failing, but not to a point where that's bad. Do you know what I mean? And I had this fear that my friends are gonna leave me, everyone is gonna do good but myself. My DP wasn't making sense at the time. It was way lesser than my age, and I was just like, nah. So I left. I did what I do best. I left the school, but I had that reason, that excuse, Yoguti. No, it's, I'm trying to help my mom. And so when I left, I went and got that job, which I didn't stick through as well. Ended up going to depend on the same person I was trying to save. That's not really funny. The comfort zone is what normally helps self-sabotage to thrive. The second one is self-worth and self-love, self-confidence, all these things that just need you to be there for yourself, so if you lack those things, self-sabotaging thrives. I used to love myself the way I am learning to love myself now. I used to do so much disservice when it comes to me, and I attribute that to my childhood, because a dumbed down version of this thing that I think that I had would be that I was raised by my mom. My father was never in the picture, and so my little dumb self thought that, okay, so I'm not worthy of being loved, or I'm not worthy of having two parents, I'm not worthy of being born into a family that is stable and blah blah blah. I never thought it to be a guy's thing, that he wasn't ready to be my father, he wasn't ready to be responsible for anyone, so he left. I attributed that to me, that Mpho, this guy couldn't even, because of who you are, so I grew up thinking that whoever loves me is just being nice to me because they're people of God, do you know what I mean? Although, like, deep down when I'm alone, I'm like, you're a pretty dope person, like you're a big thing. But I can't admit that to myself, like on a daily basis, or even when I'm chilling with people. I'm always thinking, oh, they're gonna see me for who I am. Oh, I'm such a bum. So much that is going on, to a point where then I will just be like, even if this friendship can end, I wouldn't mind, because I'm saving you from myself. It's crazy, guys. It's scary. This gives birth to a lot of things. So procrastination, what's this thing that I recently learned about? Imposter syndrome. Oh my goodness, you guys, that thing. So okay, let's start with procrastination. So you tend to procrastinate because you probably fear failing, criticism, or conflict, or you're a perfectionist. Sometimes you're a perfectionist and you think that you will not do this up to that standard that you want. And sometimes you procrastinate because at least you're going to blame it on not having enough time. I remember with my assignments as well back in school, I would leave them until the 11th hour. Then I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to do this. Oh my gosh, I'm crying to my friends. My friends are like, child, you can do this, blah blah blah. I'm sure deep down they're like, you always do this. But then they were supportive and I blessed them for that. So I would do that so that at least I blame it on not having enough time, not giving myself enough time. But in actual fact, I had to sit down and push myself and do what I had to do. But I didn't want to do that because I think I didn't know what to do, because I've never seen anyone work on themselves like in front of me. From my family, from like close people in my life, I've never seen anyone who is like intentional about bettering themselves, so I didn't know what working on yourself meant. I remember even when I went for therapy, I went for a few sessions, maybe 8. I don't think I was ready for therapy. It did some kind of justice. It did way more than I could have healed on my own, but I think there was some sort of manipulation in the system that I did, because I just felt like she needs to see that I'm doing the work, when in actual fact I wasn't, because I didn't know what that looks like, so I would often let's not get into that. I sabotaged my chance of growing and becoming a better person at that time, because I just thought that it's gonna take time and it's uncomfortable and I don't deserve to be better anyway, because already I've convinced myself that people don't really love you. But when's it fave? Okay, moving along to the imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome is just feeling like you're not supposed to be in the room that you are in. You're not supposed to be with the person that you are in. and just like feeling like a scam, man, you know, feeling like an imposter. So what happens is that let's go back to my definition of feeling like I'm not worth loving because they left me before I was even born. So that's what I grew up thinking, right? Subconsciously, even, because I wasn't waking up every day thinking, worthless person, your father left, you know. I wasn't, but at the back of my, like, deep down, I think that's what was going on. So right, I grew up thinking that, and I grew up internalizing that. So now when I enter a room with people that I've always imagined to be way higher than I am, like when I'm in the same room, I would feel like, girl, sooner or later they're going to realize that you actually know nothing. You actually just a scam. I remember the first encounter I had with Mambasi, and we had dinner and she was just talking to all of us, and then when she spoke to me, so when she was telling me the things that the Holy Spirit was telling her about me, I was just like, there is no way. There's no way. You're just being nice. I believed them. I don't want to lie. I believed them because they were not things that were far-fetched. I've always had an idea or felt that I was sort of called to be into whatever it is that she was talking to me about. But I just felt like, now the problem is going to start when you want to brainstorm with me and then you get to hear that she is empty, and I'm not. I'm really not empty. I remember thinking, you don't deserve to be here, and if it wasn't for whoever you came with here, she knows herself, you wouldn't be here. And when she's not here, they'll never call you. And then guess what happens, guys? Mambasi sends a message and she says, Ndodagazi, please come to lunch and bring Mpho along. I was like, she wants me to come to her lunch? Little old me? Then that's when I was like, maybe I am a big deal. Maybe I am meant to dine with chieftaincy. So it's quite hard to actually see yourself when you're self-sabotaging, because it can hide behind so many things. I'm going to think that I'm just trying to shield myself, I'm trying to protect my heart, not noticing that you're actually blocking yourself from being great. It was even with this channel where I realized that, child, you are so afraid. I'd put up a video and people would watch it and I'm just like, yo, I did that, and then I'll rest for the rest of the year because I'm like, what am I gonna come up with that's gonna top that up? Nothing, because even that was just lag. You know what? I'm gonna give it my all. I'm gonna try and do my best. Even if I fail, I would have known my own strength, honey. It's in the process that you learn who you are. It's not in the outcome. But now let's get into the ways you can combat or you can fight self-sabotaging. Be aware when you're self-sabotaging. Like, see yourself doing it, and acknowledge the fact that, okay, right now I'm self-sabotaging, and dissect why you are doing it. Find the reason why you are doing it, and then so that you can go to the root and deal with the root. You need to believe in yourself. That one is a standard. Build that by affirming yourself every day, opposing the negative things with the positive ones. Like, above it all, pray about it. Read the word. Read what God says you are and who God says you are, because your identity is found in the Lord and in the Lord only. And I discovered that this is not a new phenomenon, actually, because if you remember well, John the Baptist was asked to baptize Jesus, and he was like, me? You want me to baptize you? And Jesus said, yeah, you're John the Baptist, dog. Imagine, that's what John is called. John is called John the Baptist. That's his purpose in life. That's what he does. And so now Jesus is saying, baptize me. He's feeling unworthy of baptizing. If it was written about, that means it can be restored. Jesus can still restore you even today. He can still redeem you and bring you back to your boss self, because you are the boss. All the doors that are opening for you, you are supposed to be there. And the ones that close, maybe you are not supposed to be there. Or maybe you need to knock harder. I don't know. Pray about it. Go into your war room. Consult with the Lord. Praying and reading the word makes you sensitive, it makes you heightened, like it makes your senses heightened, it makes you realize things before they come, or even when they're happening, you be like, I'm self-sabotaging, I need to stop this. Will you continue to fail in life? Yes. It's not going to take away the struggles and the challenges of life, but it's going to help you in dealing with those. So I guess that's why I think it's important for everyone to work on themselves, so that when the disappointment comes, when the discouragement comes, when everything that is not desirable comes, you know what to do, or you know how to feel. You're not engulfed by that moment and you don't know how to save yourself. If the Lord has placed the vision in your heart, or in your mind, or in your spirit, He will see you through it. He literally guides you, and where He has called you, He will make a way. You guys, like a few examples of my own. I have like the negative belief that I deserve to be abandoned, ignored, and bullied. I'm a loser. Anything I attempt to do, I'll lose eventually. Someone cruel will hurt me, or someone will stop loving me. I'm disgusting, I'm unlovable. That's not true. And how do I tell myself that's not true? I write the opposite right next to the negatives. I go, I deserve to be in a community of loving people. I deserve to be accepted. I deserve to be celebrated. I am a winner. Everything that I do, I attempt to do, I win. And everything attached to me wins. Someone compassionate will help me. Don't deserve to be sexually abused. I am beautiful and I'm lovable and I am a big deal. Let us be kinder to ourselves. No self-sabotaging, no imposter syndrome formed against me shall prosper. And I want you to say the same thing about yourself, because you are a big deal. Just like me. Maybe not to my level, but almost. I'm kidding. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching. That's it from me, bleeding with you. On the comment section, please tell me if you can relate, and tell me when do you notice it and what do you do to combat it. Let's just have a conversation, because I believe I'm not the only one who's going through this. I believe there's quite a number of us, and I believe that as long as Jesus is seated on the throne, we shall not die. The vision shall not perish. Hallelujah, child. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.